creation through bomb and form. The greatest to ever do it like Kareem in the form. Or Dame at the buzzer, Skip at the rucker. 96 Bulls, the GOAT, there's no other. Bulls and Goats get some wins, but never cover. The word gave the answer to sin. No stuff.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Behind the Plays podcast. I am your official co-host. Today, I'm also the official PA guy of the Behind the Plays podcast. My name is Eric, and this is my friend Davion. I hope I'm pointing the right way. I'm trying to remember. I think that way. Yeah. That's my friend Davion, and he is your official host of the Behind the Plays podcast. How'd I do?
That was phenomenal. What is poppin' BTP fans? I am here. Make sure you guys smash like button, subscribe, follow everywhere, all that fun stuff. We have a fun episode. I'm going to try to do better about what we do because I have given Eric a plan of the day, and hopefully we follow that plan of the day and don't go on tangents today. So what we have in store today, you know we will. We're going to start off things with the recapping 3 games. We're going to recap the Eagles-Niners game, Broncos-Texans, Chiefs-Packers. I felt like there were some of the better games this week. And I always like to recap our 2 favorite teams, even though one of those teams got blown out. The other go is the QB injuries. We want to talk about that today. We're going to give our award predictions as of today, December 5th, 2023. And then we're going to do our weekly predictions, and that'll be the podcast for today. That sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, I think we're just going to dive right in, unless you have any comments for today.
I got nothing, dude. Let's get started.
Dude, I am super excited for today. Hopefully it's an actual good 45-minute podcast like we planned, because I have an appointment at 7. So, let's kick things off. We had, right before the games, the first game of the day for our recap, Broncos at Houston playing the Texans. Honestly, it was a really good game. Russell Wilson did throw 3 interceptions. Tank Dell did get hurt this game, and he will be out for the remainder of the season, which is a huge blow for the Texans. He's been a phenomenal.
I saw some great
receiver.
stuff of people putting Tank Dell on their IR so that he could try to win a chip with the team.
That's amazing.
And not just dropping right away, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, of course, because of how, he's been important for literally all fantasy owners. The Houston Texans have found a dynamic 1-2 punch. And let's not that doesn't shine away from Nico Collins was the starter this year that literally ignited this roster in that receiving core. And he came out and helped them win this football game as well when Tank Dell went out. So I have to give props to this wide receiver core. And D'Amico Ryans is cooking with this Texans team. The Broncos, we know this game was important. Eric, let's talk about it.
So Broncos end up losing to the Texans 17-22. And this was just kind of like the perfect storm. Like the Colts also won, but the Chiefs lost, and the Steelers lost, and the Browns lost. Like there were just like a ton of things going in the Broncos' favor this week, and they just ultimately didn't execute. There was a pretty big missed PI call. I want to say it was on Cortland Sutton that they probably should have called, but I don't think that was like the difference maker in the game. You know,
I agree.
Like at the end of the day, there was that one play with Alex Singleton. Did you see this?
The one where he pushed CJ Stroud, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so CJ Stroud gets up and starts screaming something at Alex Singleton, and Alex Singleton gets in his face, and then Alex Singleton gets flagged for it.
Yeah, it's
like the most classic bait of all time, and it's frustrating, but he got played, sorry.
Yeah, he did. That was a vet move from CJ Stroud, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Exactly. Like at the end of the day, the Broncos just didn't execute on enough plays. And we had a chance to win at the end of the game. And we had 2 clutch 4th down gets at the end of the game to get us into position to win. We obviously were down by 5, so we need the touchdown. They brought the rush, pressure in Russell's face, and he threw a pick, and it was not a horrible pick, I would say. So, at the end of the day, the Broncos didn't execute. If the Broncos weren't in the situation that they were in, on a 5-game winning streak with the possibility of making a wild card spot if you win this game, I think I would be less mad than I am. Mm-hmm. But considering this in a vacuum, we played pretty well, and I was ultimately pretty happy with the Broncos' performance. And I think we got outplayed by a team that maybe 5 times out of 10 were better than. It just happens.
Yeah, and honestly, the last play of the game, the interception, I think he was just giving Cortland Sutton a chance, because Cortland Sutton during this winning streak has been anything short of immaculate. He has been phenomenal. He's been on my bench all year in fantasy, and I played him. I started playing him. That's how good he's been, okay?
Yeah.
I played him over Alvin Kamara one week, I think, or one of my running backs. And I was he played extremely well. So I have to say he is playing an awesome. I like it. Russell Wilson found his groove. I think he's earned the ability to play on the team again next season. Obviously, I do think that him and Peyton are cooking. And I do want to go over the standings just a tad bit because the AFC is a bloodbath. Okay, Miami has overtaken the 1 seed at 9-3. Okay, I don't know what the tiebreaker is over the Ravens, but they hold the tiebreaker over the Ravens at this moment.
Isn't it the head-to-head?
I don't think
like
they
the
have a
Ravens-
head-to-head. I think it's a conference record, maybe.
I thought the Ravens played the Dolphins.
I've been
No,
wrong.
the Ravens play the Dolphins in Week 17. That's what I'm thinking.
So that could be a very important game, obviously. So the Ravens are 2 at 9-3. Chiefs did lose this week, so they fall to 8-4, along with the Jaguars, who also lost this week, falling to 8-4. So those are your 3 and 4 seeds. Then the 5 seed currently is the Steelers at 7-5. The Colts are 6 seed at 7-5. The Browns are 7-5 at the 7 seed, and the Texans are the 8 seed at 7-5 as well. I don't know how that tiebreaker shakes up with 4 teams at 7-5, with none of them winning their division. I would love to know how that works. But right behind them, Broncos, Bills, and Bengals are all 6-6. And honestly, not too far out are the Chargers and the Raiders, both at 5-7, 2 games behind that 7 seed. So there's a lot of things. I think the Titans, Jets, and Patriots are kind of out of the contest at this point. Patriots for sure. Titans, Jets, no way. So like that's just kind of how this shakes up. I think all these teams have an opportunity to make the playoffs. I think everything from somehow the Bengals and the getting into the playoffs would be crazy, even without Joe Burrow. But this race heating up because, like you said, the Steelers lost, the Browns lost, the Colts won, Texans won, Broncos lost, Bengals won, Bills were on a bye. This was like the perfect storm this week to kind of help you guys out. And either way, you guys are still 2 games behind the Chiefs with a split, and you guys still have to play the Chargers twice and the Raiders once. And I think those are all winnable. I think your most losable game now is the Lions game week 15 in Detroit. You get the Chargers this week. You guys get the Patriots week 16 at home. Week 17, you get the Chargers at home this time. And week 18, you go on the road to play Vegas. So
yeah,
those are all super winnable. You have a very favorable schedule.
We have 5 games left. 4 of them should be pretty winnable.
Yeah, 4 of them are super winnable. Lions, I mean, I'm not gonna count out the Broncos because they play a very stellar defense, and the Lions have been winning, but they've been shaky. Yes,
they've been shaky.
So who knows what's going to happen there? So I'm intrigued to see how that rest of that plays out specifically. So, yeah, I agree. And I love what the Texans are doing. I think CJ Stroud is playing out of his mind. He is, without a doubt, the offensive rookie of the year in my mind. I don't see anyone else winning that. He's just playing out of his mind. So, any other comments on this game?
I mean, that's pretty much it, honestly. There's not a lot to say about Broncos-Texans just because... Like, I feel like the Broncos played well, and we lost. It is what it
turnovers.
is.
I think that's what lost you guys the game at the end of the day. I think Russell Wilson threw 3 interceptions. I don't fault him for the last one. You give your best receiver a chance to win you the game at the end there.
Yeah.
I honestly would take the jump ball. That's like a 50-50 ball, and Cortland Sutton has come down with those this season. So you give him a chance. I'm not mad at the interception. I know you're probably not mad at the interception. You're thinking the same way I am.
Is what it is, yeah.
Like, if it was Jalen Hurts to A.J. Brown, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
It happens, bro. So... Speaking of those players, the Niners traveled to West Philadelphia, born and raised on the blowout that we got to spend all of Sunday. The Eagles played the Niners this week and got thoroughly mollywopped, 42-19 at home. Opinions?
Because
I'll give you my opinion, but I'd like to hear your opinions.
First of all, Lincoln Financial Field, I would say, is in South Philadelphia.
It was a joke. It is in South Philly.
I know. I'm messing with you.
It is definitely in South Philly, guys. I'm not that stupid, I promise.
It's in South Philly. Okay. I had to look it up. I'm like, where is Lincoln Financial? Anyways.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, Davion, but I'm not surprised.
Neither am I, if you want my honesty.
You know? Like, I think the 49ers have been rolling. I think the Eagles have been rolling. And I think the 49ers... In a vacuum, if you had asked me, at one point in the season, I think the 49ers were better than the Eagles.
Those words came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, I would say
at
today
one point,
the Niners are better than the Eagles.
Today, yes. I think there was a period of time where the 49ers were better than the Eagles, and there was a period of time where the Eagles were better than the 49ers.
That's absolute facts.
I think the 49ers played a much better defense than the Eagles did. Obviously, I mean, you let up 42 points to the 49ers, to their high-powered offense. Like, that's a no-no. And it's all, like, I don't want to say cheap plays, but it
was all dink and dunk plays. That's all it was.
Yeah, exactly. They're cheap in terms of they don't cost a whole lot.
Correct. They were safe plays
yeah.
that got Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey into positions to succeed.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I mean, that's the personnel you have on your roster, though. So like, that's okay.
Exactly, and
get that.
that's the Shanahan way. The Broncos did that with Mike Shanahan for years.
Yep.
The Redskins did that with Mike Shanahan for
Yep.
years. That's how the Falcons got to the Super Bowl, was when
Correct.
Kyle Shanahan was their OC. Like, that's just
It's also how they
that's
smoked
that
the Super
system.
Bowl, but you know.
And like, you think about people who come from the same system: Sean McVay,
Mm-hmm.
Mike McDaniel, the Texans OC, I believe.
Yep.
Like, all those people, it's starting to sound familiar, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, and that kind of philosophy. At the end of the day, I think it might have just been a mismatch. Like, I think the Eagles are a good team, and I think are better than most of the teams in the NFL, but maybe they don't have the personnel to deal with the Niners.
I'm going to put it this way. I think that Darius Slay and James Bradbury got unnecessary hate for this game because they were the ones that took a lot of the slack from the game. And I think it's because it was a lack of tackling. Like, I want you to, if you watch some of the touchdown plays back where they scored long touchdowns, Deebo Samuel's a prime candidate. Deebo Samuel is a very phenomenal football player, by the way. He's very strong. So taking him down is not always easy. Same with George Kittle. Everything was broken tackle, gone. Broken tackle, gone. Could not tackle in the secondary. Eli Ricks got tackle ripped off of him. We had a bunch of linebackers get their stuff murdered. Morrow was just atrocious yesterday. They had Morrow matched up with McCaffrey. Like, that was just not good. So you put a recipe for disaster, right? I think you're right. The personnel's the matchup, but I think there are adjustments that can be made to fix that. Now, obviously, first and foremost, they did sign Shaq Leonard this week. We take those. I think that's a helpful depth piece because it sucked. And our usual coverage linebacker has been Zach Cunningham, who was not playing that game. We also were down Dallas Goedert, so a lot of our dink and duck plays were kind of not there because of that's our safety net. This is what I think the Eagles need to do next time. First off, why the fuck is Gainwell playing more than Swift?
I did see you mention that on Twitter.
Saw me
with the
tweet
snap
that?
count,
I was
yeah.
pissed. I was like, that should never happen. 1. 2, Eli Ricks was out there for 8% of the snaps on defense, and every time, I swear to God, he got murdered. Like, it never failed. And I was like, just play Josh Jobe at this point. Play anyone else. Like, you were down, like, 28 to, like, 12. I would that's the time to experiment. You're losing. Just figure something out. Try to get something, because you're probably going to have to play this team again. This might be, to me, this is the NFC Championship. Right now.
I don't doubt it.
Could I see like the Cowboys playing upset to one of these teams? For sure. Do I still feel like these are the best two teams in the NFC? Absolutely. No question asked me. Do I think the Niners are better? Yes, because I'm not that biased, okay? I'm always going to cheer for my team and think my team is the best team in the league because we have a 10-2 record and we've been phenomenal all season. However, we got bodied, and it happens. But Darius Slay and James Bradbury deserve no slack because nothing got thrown their way. They were playing outside, they were doing their job, and when Slay needed to make a tackle, guess who made the tackles? Slay led us in tackles on Sunday. Fun fact. That should never happen. When we were getting to the quarterback, we did our job. Here's the mistakes that were made on offense. We got 2 3-and-outs to start the game. We got 2 field goals. Now, if you get 2 touchdowns, 14-0 looks a lot better than 6-0 when they score their touchdown, right? Because now you're 14-7 instead of 6-7. Now you're not playing from behind. Swift needs to touch the ball more. Hurts needs to hold the ball as well. Protection was phenomenal from the O-line on Sunday. Like, he was getting like 4 or 5 seconds to throw the football. He just wasn't making a play. So I think we got to look at the bigger picture and look at those big things on tape and why it's not working. If there's anyone I trust to make those fixes, it is Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and that offense. If there's anyone I trust to make the defensive swaps, it's Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and Darius Slay. They're going to get that defense into shape. They're getting 2 linebackers back for Dallas. They're going to get Shaq Leonard, who I think is going to be a good pickup for them to help, and Zach Cunningham, who's been our best linebacker without a doubt. There's talks about us getting Ndamukong Suh, which will help with that run that Christian McCaffrey was going on. Again, by the way, we had him last year for the Super Bowl run. So I think that would help. So it's just a matter of kind of making those switches and making those plays. I think Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter could be doing a little bit better run defensive-wise. I think they're good at getting to the quarterback and helping us, but we need help on the run defense. And we kind of got exposed when Trent Williams was blocking up there, and he did a phenomenal job. There's some things you can fix, and at the end of the day, the score doesn't matter to me. And the reason the score doesn't matter to me is because 2 of those touchdowns were scored when the game was pretty much over at that point, right? 2 touchdowns we should have scored. I think that score could have easily been 42-28. This is why the score doesn't matter to me. And the reason I say that is a loss is a loss, whether it's 1 point or 35 points, okay? We're still the 1 seed. We still have the best position to be the 1 seed. Niners are in a great position because they have the tiebreaker over us now. But we are still in a great position because of how our schedule looks for the rest of the year. I think the biggest thing that you need to do moving forward is look at getting Swift the ball more. Look at the slants more, because when we were running slant plays, quick plays, things that were quick on those things, AJ Brown was making so many yards after catch. We scored twice, and we just went away from it. So just make those adjustments. I think there's a way. I think there's a way for us to win those games, and I think there was a way for us to win that game with adjustments, and we didn't make them, and it was a little frustrating. There were a lot of stupid. The refs were very dumb this game. Let me throw that out there. Both ways, by the way. Not the refs weren't the reason we lost the game, but there was a blatant holding call that didn't get called on Reed Blankenship. I don't know if you saw the clip. It was a Deebo Samuel touchdown. Literally, AJ Brown is getting held in the back of the end zone while trying to make a break. Man,
it's crazy. It's almost like NFL officiating is just
it's
ass.
so bad. And then even then, bad. There was a horse collar on Deebo that didn't get called. Like,
yeah,
I was like, refs, dude, what are we doing, man? Like there was so many. It was just so bad. And again, for anyone who's like, oh my God, Eagles always get a whistle, I just complained about a Deebo Samuel call that didn't get called. Just so we're clear. I think there was a lot of stupid stuff. So, overall, you make your adjustments, move on. You know what I'm saying? That's what my mindset is. We go to Dallas this week. It didn't help that we had to play a game in overtime against the Bills and then turn around to a team that played on a Thursday night game. And now we got to do we just got our shit rocked, and now we got to go play a Thursday night team that just played a Thursday night game. It's a little rough.
Dallas.
In Dallas, of all places. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little rough. Scheduling was a little rough for us, but we weren't going to win every game in the gauntlet. I said this at the beginning of the year.
No.
I said we're going to go like 3-2 in that gauntlet, and then we're going to be fine. We're 3-1 in the gauntlet. I think we're okay. We've already exceeded my expectations. I thought we were going to lose to the Chiefs and the Niners. We beat the Chiefs, beat the Bills, beat the Dolphins, beat the Cowboys once. Going to play the Cowboys again, which is good. I think we have a chance to beat them. I think they're a good team, but the Seahawks showed me something that I think we can expose on them, and I hope we do it. So
we'll see.
The other game we wanted to talk about was the Chiefs-Packers, which was insane that the Packers played so good. Jordan Love looks amazing.
Yeah, Jordan Love has really hit his stride in the last few weeks. Like, honestly, since the Broncos game, the Packers have kind of been playing very well.
Yes.
Give or take. Like, they played well against the Vikings. They played pretty well against the Rams. They played decent against the Steelers. They played well against the Chargers. Like, even though they're losing some of those games, the Packers were playing pretty well. And then hit Thursday Night Football against the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Big win.
And then the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football last week.
Big win. And the Packers are screaming back right now. And they're the 7th seed.
Yeah, I realistically could see, like, if we think about all the teams in the NFC, right? And we talk about this every single week. Eagles and Cowboys, somebody's going to win the East. The other one's the 5 seed,
Correct.
Probably.
No questions asked, because the next closest is 6-6. That's 3 games behind either of these teams.
Niners are winning the West.
No questions
Lions
asked.
are probably winning the North still.
No questions asked. After the 6,
somebody's going to win the South.
Someone. Yeah, we don't know who,
Someone. So, and then you have Cowboys or Eagles at the 5 seed. And then the rest of the NFC is pretty much wide open in terms of seeding.
Yeah.
So we could see
a
situation where the Packers are sneaking into the playoffs now.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the AFC on a slightly lower level, right?
Absolutely.
The Vikings are in the 6th seed at 6-6. Wild. The Packers are the 7th seed at 6-6. Rams are 8 at 6-6. Seahawks are 9 at 6-6. So that's a 4-way tiebreaker for that 2 playoff spots right there. Bucks, after beating the Panthers, are 5-7, tied with the Saints at 5-7, who I by the looks of it have the tiebreaker over them. I'm assuming it's a division record thing.
I believe so.
The Saints unfortunately run into the Lions this week, and then you have a bunch of 4-8 teams. So
In either way, the Bucks and Saints are only a game behind in the South too.
Correct. Yeah,
So
and both of those teams can win the
yeah.
division. I believe they all have the opportunity to play each other again. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
certain.
I believe the only team that is mathematically eliminated at this point is the Panthers.
The Panthers were mathematically eliminated this week with the loss to the Buccaneers. Correct.
Yes.
So
even the Patriots are still technically in it, which is weird.
How?
That's gross.
They're 5 games behind. I guess a lot of things have to go right for them.
If they win out and a lot of things go their way, then yes, they're in. Because look at the Patriots' schedule.
I guess because they can hit tiebreakers over the Broncos.
Exactly. The Patriots are playing the Steelers, a wild card team. The Patriots are playing next week the Chiefs.
That's crazy. They're not winning that. They're mathematically out after that loss, by the way.
Broncos, a wild card team.
That's a team that they can. Yeah. Who else do they play? Who's their
Bills, a wild card team.
Yeah, that's tiebreaker over the Bills, and Jets is huge.
And then Jets.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
So, like, if they win and get some stuff to go their way, yes, they can make the playoffs. They probably won't.
They should, but they might.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's some big stuff going in the NFC. I really like what Jordan Love's doing. The receivers are coming to their own. I think a lot of that is Christian Watson coming back. He was injured for a good chunk of the beginning of the year, so I think having him helps. A lot of the rookie receivers though too. Romeo Doubs looks phenomenal. Your boy, he looks great Romeo. This season. That new was Wicks. Is that his last name? Dontavian Wicks or something like that?
Yeah, Dontavian Wicks.
He's phenomenal. He's looking great. A lot of good stuff. They're even doing this without Aaron Jones, which I think is insane. So a big part of this. And to be fair, I think
the Packers are in a good situation to succeed without Aaron Jones because I think AJ Dillon is so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think they released Adrian Amos this week, which I don't think that matters because they looked great, but it's just something to think about when people need some safety depth.
Yeah,
the Eagles. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Tackling. You know what I'm still mad about? I think I said this when you guys signed him. Alex Singleton is one of the best tacklers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Do you know he's honestly, like top 10 in tackles like every year?
I was watching that Texans game and I'm like, Alex Singleton is making just about every single play for us.
Dude, you know how much I would have loved to have Alex Singleton as our middle linebacker this last game? I think he would have made a big difference. Him and Reed Blankenship. What I've been saying is we need to get a safety and put Reed in box. Put him in the box because he's our best tackler right now. And it's like it's weird to say that our free safety is our best tackler.
Yeah.
Or he's our strong safety. I'm sorry. Byard's our free safety. So, but yeah, I really like what the Packers are doing. The Chiefs, on the other hand, rough loss. I think this is the first time they've gotten screwed over while Taylor Swift was in the house. But it's tough because now they lose their 1 seed out. No real injuries either. I mean, they're going to have a tough time trying to, come back and do what they got to do. But they're playing the Bills this week, which we always love that matchup.
Yeah.
They get the Patriots on Monday night afterwards, which should be fine. Raiders on Christmas. A couple easy games there. The Bengals, we don't really know because we saw a lot of good things from the Bengals on Monday Night Football this week against a really good Jags team. And then they end their season off in not San Diego, LA with the Chargers. So
I saw this great, speaking of Taylor Swift, I saw this great video of somebody was filming Taylor Swift during the game, and it looks like she says, "I'm going to kill myself."
Oh.
Because probably something bad happened to the Chiefs.
Of course.
And we're like, gosh, that's the realest thing she's ever said.
Honestly.
All the year. She's like, it didn't take her long to become one of us.
All right.
Like, I watched the Broncos do stupid shit, and I'm like, I feel that. I feel that.
But yeah, I could see the Chiefs being fine. I don't feel confident that the playoffs are going through Arrowhead anymore. Miami or Baltimore getting that 1 seed is huge for them because I think both of those teams could benefit greatly from having the Chiefs or the Jags come into their home. And especially Miami, who doesn't have to go to cold Kansas City, would be really nice for them.
Yeah, don't count Jacksonville, Florida out. Don't count Duval County out.
Oh, never.
My bold prediction.
I think it's still solely
so far
on Trevor Lawrence.
Alive. It's on T-Law, and he's got a high ankle sprain, so you'll miss a little bit of time.
Yeah, we'll see. Speaking of high ankle sprains that happen to quarterbacks, quarterback injuries have been a big issue this season. I was going through the list earlier today, and a lot of AFC teams have been butchered by quarterback injuries. You got your top 3 teams, right? Miami, Baltimore, Kansas City, who are fine. Then you get after that, Jacksonville, T-Law just went down. Steelers, Kenny Pickett just went down. A-Rich went down. Deshaun Watson, CJ Stroud's fine. Russell Wilson's fine. Josh Allen's fine. Joe Burrow's gone. Jimmy Garoppolo missed some time. Aaron Rodgers. Ryan Tannehill was hurt at one point. Like, that's a lot of injuries for quarterbacks this season. Not to mention like Derek Carr on the other side. Who else was there? Matt Stafford was out for a little bit. Geno Smith has gotten banged up.
Daniel
Kirk
Jones.
Cousins died. Daniel Jones. Like
Justin Fields.
I missed him.
I don't know how Sam Howell hasn't died or Bryce
yeah,
Young.
dude, they've been cooking. Bryce Young was out for a game. Didn't he get concussed for a game or something like that? Didn't we have like
a game? Yeah, I'm surprised it's not worse.
Yeah. So there's just been a lot of QB injuries. Is it just something in the water this season? We don't normally have this many QB based injuries.
I think statistically, at this point in the season, we are up in terms of QB injuries. But it's not by a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Like, this is a relatively, I would say it's on par-ish. Mm-hmm. This is like a bogey compared to the last few seasons, but I don't, if you look statistics, I don't think it's a dramatic increase.
Do we think it's just because it's like a lot of season ending injuries that we're pointing it out?
I think that could be what it is.
We've had some people get banged up. Like last season, Hurts missed some time.
Yeah.
The Niners were getting murdered at QB last year. Tua was a big one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lamar missed some time.
Deshaun Watson still.
He's always missing time. Just a couple things to note. Aaron Rodgers was fine last season. At least
wasn't Dak hurt last season?
Dak
or
missed some games
the year before.
No, he missed some games. He didn't miss a lot of games, but he missed some games because he missed the first game against the Eagles in Philly, and we lost Jalen to the second game because they were talking about Cooper Rush cooking, and then we played them, and then he got cooked,
Cooper
and then
Rush
they were like, it was just Cooper Rush, and I'm like, you guys are lame.
Yeah,
I remember that vividly.
The truth is, you can't have it both ways,
right?
Because there's an outcry in the NFL that the NFL is too soft. That you tap on a quarterback and then they get hurt, and then you got also the same people bitching about how quarterbacks are getting hurt.
Yes,
you can't have it both ways.
I agree.
Sorry,
I agree. It's so hard to look at it and just from a like subjective point of view and be like, well, if it was my quarterback, I'd be upset. But like, it just, some of them just don't feel like injuries that are happening because they're getting cracked. They're not getting hit super hard. They're not. It's like,
no, and a lot of them are just kind of like oopsie daisies.
Yeah,
like the Aaron Rodgers injury is a little bit of an oopsie daisy.
Yeah, he just slipped.
Yeah,
basically, or was it? It was MetLife.
Yeah, you know exactly where that happened.
It was MetLife. So
yeah, and then and that doesn't help either for QB injuries. Is that there's a decent chance that a team is playing in MetLife every single week.
Yeah, we literally have two starting quarterbacks for the teams that play there are out because of MetLife.
Yeah, so it'll be maybe the best thing the NFL could do right now is replace the field in MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, and I mean, it could just be playing on natural grass. I saw a stat though for like Dallas.
They're playing on turf in MetLife.
Yeah, I'm saying play on actual grass, not turf.
Okay, yeah.
I want them to play on grass. That's what I'm saying. But Dallas apparently plays better on turf than they do on grass. Turf stadiums, they're like way better. It's weird. Like statistically, not like actually. I don't know what that there's no like judging that. It's just funny that the statistics show when they play on turf, they're like 100 yards per game better. And I'm like, what?
It's weird.
Wild.
I'm just trying to think of like all the stadiums in the NFL. Like I'm pretty sure the big ones that are kind of like surprisingly grass are Denver and Arizona are all grass.
Pretty sure Lincoln Financial has it.
I believe the link is grass. Yes.
Okay, so what NFLs have grass? So Arizona has Bermuda grass, Atlanta's turf, Baltimore's grass, Buffalo's turf, Carolina's turf, Chicago's grass, Cincinnati's turf, Dallas is turf, Cleveland is grass, Denver is grass, Detroit is turf, Packers is grass, Houston is turf, Indy is...
If you can grow grass in Green Bay, Wisconsin, you could do it in...
anywhere.
In MetLife Stadium.
Same with Philly. Philly has the same grass, so...
yeah.
And Pittsburgh has grass. You can make it happen, man. And Washington has grass, and their stadium sucks.
Yeah, you should be playing on grass.
Same with Soldier. So yeah, we should see that more. I would hope so. All right, I think we've been waiting for this for a few weeks now. Award predictions. We're gonna go for an MVP a Depoy and Opoy. Are we doing both conferences? I forgot to ask. Yes? Has to be.
We can if you want to.
Let's do both conferences. MVP is obviously an award that's just universal to the league. Opoy, Depoy is both conferences. Rookie and defensive rookie of the year is universal. Sound good?
Okay, so which ones are we doing in conferences?
The player of the years. The Opoy and Depoy.
So Opoy, Depoy.
Yeah. And then do you want to do a coach of the year too?
We can.
Okay.
Might as well.
I didn't really prepare, but I feel like I know who I want to pick. So
Yeah. I mean, I got some names in the back of my mind.
yeah, this is easy.
The one thing I have been researching really quickly while you've been talking was the Walter Payton Man of the Year, of course, which it's impossible for us to make a prediction about that.
It's not possible.
But it is the best award that they give out all year.
Yes.
They officially announced the nominees.
Yes. Lane
Today,
Johnson was
actually.
the Eagles one, so it made me happy.
Yes, and Garrett Bowles, ironically enough, is the one for the Broncos. Look at a couple
the
OT,
offensive line, boys.
white guy OTs.
We love them. Goats. Legends.
Yep.
All right, let's get to it. I mean, what better way? Let's just kick it off. MVP.
Okay.
Who you feeling or deserves the MVP as of end of week 13?
You asked me start of week 13. This answer was easy.
Okay.
And it was Jalen Hurts.
Yes. I would have said the same thing.
Now, after the loss of the 49ers, I think it's a little bit closer.
Same.
For sure. I think there's a tendency for the MVP award a lot of the times to go to quarterback of the best team.
Yes.
And I don't really feel like that's necessarily the case. Don't get me wrong.
Correct.
I think Jalen Hurts has been playing very well this year.
Agreed.
I think the Eagles' offense have been playing very well, and the Eagles as a whole has been playing very well. But if I want to talk about the MVP, who is the most valuable player to their team right now, there's a crowd of people that are saying it's Brock Purdy.
That's just blatantly wrong.
That would be really funny though, but it's wrong.
It's blatantly wrong.
You said this last week. I kind of feel like right now the MVP is Dak Prescott.
Yeah? Okay. That's not who I was going with. Dak Prescott's like my 2 right now. I think Dak has been playing phenomenal this season. If you look at his stats, he's just amazing. And I hate saying that about Cowboys players, but you know I've been a big fan of Dak no matter what. I think he's a great football player. He gets a lot of hate for no reason. He doesn't get to Super Bowls. He doesn't get the conference championship, but neither did Tony Romo. It's okay, man. I respect Dak. Even opposed, you can respect and hate at the same time.
Peyton Manning won MVP 5 times. He's been to the Super Bowl 4 times, won it twice.
There you go.
I don't think MVP equals
Aaron
Super
Rodgers.
Bowls.
There you go.
Aaron Rodgers, exactly. He's been to 1 Super Bowl. He's won it 4 times.
That is not my choice, though. He was actually 2 on my list. I think this is a year that we genuinely should get a non-QB winning MVP.
We should.
And I think objectively the most valuable player.
I picked Dak with QB bias. Keep that in mind.
QB bias.
Without QB bias, I bet you we're thinking the same person.
With QB bias, it is Dak Prescott. Without QB bias, it is Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
And the reason being is because look at the games that they played without Christian McCaffrey, then look at the games they played with Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It just happens. Christian McCaffrey is so valuable to this team. Brock Purdy gets a lot of his stats from him. He scores every freaking game. Debo had one of the best games against the Eagles, obviously, but Christian McCaffrey is the one that's carrying the load every other game. When Debo has bad games, Christian McCaffrey did not have a bad game.
You ready for the hottest take of all time?
Hit me.
You want to talk about MVP most valuable player to the 49ers? It's Trent Williams.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a hot take. It's not even a remote.
No, it is. If Trent Williams wins MVP, there's something wrong for sure.
That'd be hilarious.
Like,
but yeah,
I don't feel like
he's one of, if not the most valuable player to that team.
Yeah,
it's facts. But my vote is Christian McCaffrey. Dak would finish 2. I honestly think no other QB should be in this top 3. Tyreek Hill should be 3.
I'm inclined to agree.
That's my list. I would put Jalen Hurts at 4, and then Lamar Jackson at 5. There you go.
I would agree. I think Tua
5.
deserves some mentions too.
Tua does, but Tyreek Hill is also a menace to society. So
I think Brock Purdy's in the top 10 for sure.
Absolutely, agreed.
But,
Facts. Yeah, he's not. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Cool. Coach of the year.
So you want to start AFC or NFC? Because I feel like I got my candidates for both.
Let's do AFC first. I don't have my NFC.
I feel like AFC, I feel like there's realistically 2 options here.
Yes.
And in my humble opinion, it's DeMeco Ryans.
I would agree with you. I think he is the overall coach of the year just because of the situation, especially if that team makes the playoffs. Especially if
I
that team
think
makes the playoffs.
overall, he's not, in my opinion. I think he is the best candidate out of the AFC right now. If it's not D'Amico Ryans in the AFC right now, it's Mike McDaniel.
Correct. I agree with that.
In
He's been
my
doing
opinion.
such a good job with Houston this season, and in a team that wasn't supposed to succeed and have an off year to get a few more draft picks in to kind of bolster up the offense. They've hit.
And you take a fairly recent terrible team, and like coach of the year loves to go to recently terrible teams who make the playoffs.
Correct.
So let's
He's
take one of the historical worst teams in the history of the league and a team that's probably going to make the playoffs. No, the NFC coach of the year and probably the overall coach of the year is Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. They didn't make the playoffs last year. They matched their wins from last year, and they will probably hit double digits for the first time in forever.
Yeah, the Lions have been historically terrible.
Atrocious.
I saw something that they're 9-3 for the first time since like 1960 whatever.
Yeah. So this is great for them. I think, Dan Campbell's definitely that. I have to agree with you. That was gonna be my pick as well. Those two definitely earned it. I think if D'Amico Ryans make playoffs though, they have to probably consider him.
I think they should consider him, yeah. But I feel like it's Dan Campbell.
I agree. All right. Let's do let's not do the players of the year. Let's do the rookies of the year.
Okay. Offense.
I
feel
right? Like both of these feel really easy.
Offense feels easy.
It's CJ Stroud. That's not
it's CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
fuck, you kidding me?
Yeah, no contest.
Yeah, no contest.
I don't even know another rookie that's playing well enough to compete because all the rookies have been getting hurt.
Puka Nacua, I guess.
I guess Puka, yeah. Yeah, that's valid.
But it's still CJ Stroud.
Puka probably finishes second because who else? Like
because who else? Exactly.
Tank Dell, but he got hurt, you know?
Yeah, I think like some considerations would be like Rashee Rice, Jordan Addison, maybe.
If
Devon Achane played all year, he's up there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's CJ Stroud as fuck.
Absolutely. Defensive.
Yeah.
This one's a little tougher.
I think it's a little bit tougher, but right now it feels like it's between two for me.
Yes.
And that being Jalen Carter and Devon Witherspoon.
Not even close. Those are my two as well. I think Jalen Carter edges him out right now, but I think
I feel like he does too.
I don't think it's far off that Witherspoon could not win it at this point.
I think if there's a third candidate right now, it'd probably be Will Anderson.
Oh yeah, he's been playing really well as of late. He hasn't been consistent all year, but he's been doing well as of late.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Let's go to players of the year. So let's do NFC Offensive Player of the Year.
Christian McCaffrey.
I picked Christian McCaffrey for my MVP, so I'm gonna go Dak for the.
Okay, that's valid.
Offensive Player of the Year. If it's and vice versa, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they're interchangeable.
I get you. Right I think right now, if it's not Christian McCaffrey, I think some other NFC candidates right now are AJ Brown.
Oh, absolutely.
Are CeeDee Lamb.
No. CeeDee Lamb's been crack too.
Yeah.
Those are some good candidates. Yeah.
If we're considering some like non.
You want to be honest with candidates. You? Puka Nacua,
honestly.
He's at 1,000-yard receiver, bro.
Honestly, maybe even like CJ Stroud himself.
Yeah, dude. They've been cooking. Gotta get
props. When was the last
for
time a rookie won Opwe?
Couldn't tell you.
Wasn't Dak's rookie year him and Zeke? Like one of them won offensive rookie of the year, the other one won Opwe. And I think both were rookies that year. It would have been 2016.
I guess. Let me look up history of Offensive Player of the Year.
Or I guess it would have been the 2017 season. Or the 2016 season, but the awards in 2017.
Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, Michael Thomas, Pat Mahomes, Todd Gurley. No, Matt Ryan won it. 2016. Todd Gurley won 2017.
Was it not 2016?
Cam won 15. Marco Murray 2014. Peyton Manning twice. AP, Breeze, Brady twice. None of these are rookies to me. Unless Sean Alexander was a rookie in 2005. I couldn't tell you. Or Marshall Falk was a rookie in 99.
Marshall Falk was not a rookie in 99.
Yeah, so those are the only times I've seen. Those are the only rookies I've seen. Or because rookie of the year that year was Dak Prescott.
What the hell?
Right? Couldn't tell you.
No, I'm trying to find this shit because I look up 2016 awards and they talk about the 2015 season. I look up the 2017 awards and they talk about the 2018 season or the 2017 season, and it's annoying.
I just realized Shaq
Because
Leonard's
like,
only 28. Why do people say like he's old as hell? What the heck?
who says he's old as hell?
I've been seeing a lot of age things. Anyway, moving right along. Depoy, Opoy. I'm sorry. Opoy makes perfect sense. I think Puka has a chance to win it though. I wouldn't be surprised. Like if something happens drastically, he could potentially come up. NFC Depoy though.
NFC D-boy is Micah Parsons as fuck.
Do you think it's Micah Parsons?
I do.
I'm gonna go a little bit weirder. Same team though. Deron Bland. I mean, broken record for pick sixes in a season is crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
It obviously helps that you have Micah Parsons, but you know.
Yeah, I would say that's because of Micah Parsons. So.
We can't agree that those are some of my favorite candidates for sure.
I think it's Micah Parsons.
I think Hassan Reddick could be in the conversation too.
It's Nick Bosa maybe.
Bosa for sure could be in the conversation. I think those are kind of like your four. I can't think of a fifth, but those definitely feel like the topper people that have been doing it. So.
Okay.
AFC.
Oh boy.
Tyreek Hill. This is a no contest.
It's Tyreek Hill.
There's no contest.
If it's not Tyreek Hill, it's one of these other quarterbacks. CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, something like that. They need to give it to Tyreek Hill for sure.
Tyreek Hill should have that award on lock. It is now his award. He should have it already in his award case.
Yeah, the Tyreek Hill Offensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, he has it. Defense is a little harder. Actually, I don't think it's that hard. It's a little harder. I'm going Myles Garrett.
I feel like it is Myles Garrett.
TJ Watt's right behind him.
I'm inclined to agree. Honestly, sleeper candidate, Max Crosby.
Yeah, agreed. Oh, AFC. I forgot to mention Jesse Bates should be in that conversation too, by the way.
For AFC?
Yes. Or NFC. NFC. He's on the Falcons.
I was gonna say.
He's on the Falcons.
Okay, yeah.
Jesse Bates should be in that conversation. He's like second in interceptions behind Deron Bland. I just want that to be known. He's playing phenomenal on that Falcons team. Okay. Cool. Anyway. Yeah. Easy peasy.
In my opinion, I mean, if I had thrown some Broncos bias in there, I think Justin Simmons and Pat Surtain have been playing out of their fucking mind.
I agree, but they just haven't been consistent.
They don't have the numbers.
Yeah,
and they had the Dolphins game. So
exactly. So
that's kind of a ball game.
Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Max Crosby. I think those are the right players.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're pretty good at this, man. I think we end up being on the same page a lot. The MVP, I think, is a little. Obviously, I think it's objective, but it's hard to pick,
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been clear cut. Like last year, it was definitely Jalen Hurts up until Jalen Hurts didn't play 2 games. It was for sure Mahomes. Like there was no contest.
Right.
So, all right, let's end it off. Okay. Weekly predictions. Patriots hitting up the Steelers. Patriots suck. They don't know what they want to do at quarterback. Pittsburgh's without their quarterback, but they have Mitch Trubisky. So I think Mitch Trubisky is better than anything that the Patriots put out. Give me the Steelers.
This is gonna be a stinker.
It is Thursday night, baby.
You thought Chargers Patriots was bad, ending 6-0. We might see a game end 3-0. Like we
might get a 0-0 tie, man.
We might, honestly. Like this is horrible. I hope we get a 0-0 tie for the sake of scoregami. Do you have any idea how impossible that would be to knock off?
That'd be insane.
If there was a chance, it would be this game. But I agree with you. I'm going Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Texans at Jets. I think the Jets are getting closer to being better.
Jets have officially released Tim Boyle, by the way.
Yeah, which is crazy to me.
And signed Brett Rippon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing.
Former Denver Broncos starting quarterback Brett Rippon, by the way.
I don't know what they're doing, man. Texans with this game. Even without
for sure.
Yep. Rams at Ravens. Rams need to keep trying to win because they're right there in the race. Mm-hmm. However, I think the Ravens are too good in Baltimore, so give me the Ravens.
Ravens are an insanely good team in the AFC. It's in Baltimore, plus the Ravens are coming off a bye. I'm inclined to agree. Give me Baltimore.
Yep. Panthers at Saints.
NFC South division matchup. Panthers aren't good.
But they have nothing to play for at this point, so they're just going to do what they want. I'm still going to take the Saints because the Saints do have stuff to play for.
I'm going with New Orleans, yeah.
Colts at Bengals.
Colts have been playing crazy good behind Gardner Minshew.
Agreed.
And the Bengals are on a little bit of a short week. Had a pretty dramatic win.
Both of these teams won OT games by 3, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Indy.
Give me Cincinnati this week. I think after the Browning Jamar Chase connection got going last week, I think we're gonna get some more stuff like that. And Cincy is kind of a sleeper team right now, especially with still being somewhat solid even without their star quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Bucks at Falcons. Ooh,
Another NFC South division matchup.
This one's a better matchup though.
This one's by far a better matchup because this might ultimately determine who wins the South.
Yeah. Give me the Falcons. I think the Falcons have just been playing better overall. Their defense has been good. Their offense has been meh, but their defense has been great. So I love it.
The Falcons have been playing much better. But I don't know why. I really couldn't tell you why.
It's just doing their thing. I respect it.
They're just doing their thing. You know who else I feel like is going to do their thing this week? I think it's a little bit of an upset pick for sure. I'm going with Tampa. That's
okay. I respect it. Baker's been cooking.
Yeah.
Jags at Browns. I think without T-Law, this is a harder matchup. So I'm going to take the Browns this week to win this game.
What is the official verdict on Trevor Lawrence?
I'm pretty sure he's out. I think he had a high ankle sprain.
He did. Which usually is like 2 to 3 weeks.
Suffers ankle injuries, needs help trainers get off. Trevor Lawrence is going to rehab around the clock this week to give himself a chance to play through his high ankle sprain. Per sources, too early to know how the ankle will respond or whether he'll be available Sunday, but they aren't ruling it out yet.
If T-Law plays, give me the Jags. If T-Law doesn't play, give me Cleveland.
I still think Cleveland. Either way.
So I'll put a little conditional on there.
Okay. We'll see how it goes on Saturday when we get the official word.
Yeah. So if T-Law plays, I'm going with Jacksonville. If he does not play, I'll go with Cleveland.
All right. Lions at Bears.
Lions, right?
Yeah, easy money.
I don't care that the Bears are going off by.
Exactly. Seahawks at Niners.
Niners, right?
No.
You should have seen my face.
So, I agree the Niners are the better football team. After I saw what the Seahawks did to the Cowboys, I actually think that the Seahawks prep is really good, and I think they could go win in San Francisco this week because it's divisional matchup. So give me the Seahawks. I feel the Niners have been on a streak. I feel like this is their time to lose a game.
Okay, I'm going with San Francisco.
It's just, just trying to be a little outlandish,
It's true. You're 5 games back in the pick'ems. You gotta.
I think it's fun. Vikings at Raiders.
This is an interesting matchup because both these teams are coming off buys.
This is a great matchup. I like this one.
I do too.
Interconference, similar logos, similar records. In Vegas, dude, give me the Raiders.
I'm going with the Raiders too.
This should be fun.
Ever since Josh McDaniels got fired, this is the most I've ever liked the Raiders in my life.
They're just fun. I don't know what it is, man. And we hate the Raiders.
Oh, I hate the Raiders.
Broncos at Chargers.
Broncos need a win for sure after the loss to Houston if they want to stay alive. The Chargers are not very great, but it's in LA.
I do not care.
I'm going with Denver on the road.
I do not care where LA plays. They scored 6 points. 6 points on the Patriots. Give me the Broncos. Bills at Chiefs. Fun matchup. Always a great matchup.
Yes. In Arrowhead. Bills coming off the bye, though.
Chiefs coming off a rough Sunday Night Football loss.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the
I think this is going to be a close one. A nail-biter. A real incher. But give me KC.
Yeah, give me KC. I think this is going to be the unfortunate stoppage. I think this is the time where the Bills are like, we're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's tough, but it's yeah.
Okay. Sunday Night Football. It's an American classic. The Birds, the Boys.
It's the matchup.
In Jerry World. I know who you're picking for moral reasons.
Absolutely. I am picking the Birds. That's just not even a contest.
I think the difference between these two teams is inches, and I really do think the fact that it's in Dallas matters a lot. I'm picking the Cowboys.
I understand.
If this were in a neutral location, like if they go play this game in Jacksonville for some fucking reason, I would pick the Eagles 100 times out of 100. I want you to know that.
Yeah, I can't pick the Cowboys.
I think the fact that it's in Dallas matters a lot. I think the Eagles are the better team, but it's in Dallas and that matters. I'm going with the Cowboys.
I think we're getting Dallas Goedert back with Shaq Leonard and Zach Cunningham, so that's gonna be helpful, of course.
Yeah.
Packers at Giants doubleheader on Monday Night Football for the 11th. I don't know why, but Packers are
I couldn't tell you either.
playing the Giants in New Jersey, MetLife Stadium. Just bad stadium. Giants have been doing great coming off a bye. However, I think the Packers have been even better. So I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, Green Bay's hot. I'm going with Packers.
Then Titans at Dolphins to end it off. I think the Titans are kind of done. I don't know what else they can do. They've been rough. They look great against the Colts, but it's the Colts. So I'm going to take Dolphins.
I'm going with Miami as well.
And then the Cardinals Commanders are on byes for the last bye weeks of the season.
Yep, late buys for Washington and Arizona, but that's them.
That's them. I mean, they're not doing much
So,
anyway.
we have 4 games different.
Let's run it back. I got Steelers, Texans, Ravens, Saints, Bengals, Falcons, Browns, Lions, Seahawks, Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs, Eagles, Packers, Dolphins.
We got 3.5 different, depending on Jags Browns.
Got it.
So, because I'm taking the Steelers, Texans, Ravens, Saints, Colts, Buccaneers, as of now, the Jaguars, which is what I have on the sheet, Jaguars. Lions, Niners, Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs, Cowboys, Packers, Dolphins.
Sounds good.
So we got Colts, Bengals, Bucks, Falcons, Cowboys, Eagles, then maybe Jags, Browns.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. All right. Any closing remarks for your boy?
Dude, I got nothing. Get out of here.
We are out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. My name is Davion. That is Eric. This is Behind the Plays, and we are out this beach. Peace.
See ya.